On the edge of a quiet little town, where the noise of the city fades into the whisper of the wind, lived a caramel-colored stray dog. Her fur shimmered in the sunlight like golden honey, and that's what the townspeople called her, Honey. She wasn't just another stray, wandering through empty streets. She was a mother, strong, protective, and endlessly devoted. After months of searching for a safe place, Honey found an abandoned field behind a small bakery. There, hidden between tall grass and broken fences, she gave birth to her 4 tiny puppies. That patch of earth became her home, her whole world. Every day, she'd leave them for just a few minutes, walking quietly to the bakery nearby. The baker, a kind man named Zhao, had noticed her long ago. Every morning she'd sit outside, wagging her tail softly, not begging, but waiting. And Zhao always came out smiling. "Good morning, my girls," he'd say, handing her leftover bread and bits of cake. She never ate right away. Instead, she carried the food gently in her mouth and trotted back to her puppies, her little family waiting in the warmth of their hidden nest. For weeks, this became their routine. The baker admired her. "She's not just surviving," he'd tell his workers. "She's living for them." But then came the day everything changed. That afternoon, the sky turned a deep orange. The wind grew still. Even the birds fell silent, as if nature itself was holding its breath. Honey hesitated before leaving the bakery that day. Something in the air felt wrong, but her hunger pushed her forward. Her puppies needed milk, and she needed strength. She walked quickly, paws crunching over the dry ground. Behind her, Zhao watched from the doorway. "She's nervous today," he muttered. "I wonder why." At that same moment, deep within the tall grass near Honey's den, something moved. A ripple through the weeds, silent, deliberate. It was a python, massive, ancient, drawn by the faint scent of milk and life, its golden eyes locked onto the small shapes wriggling under a torn piece of cloth. The puppies, they whimpered softly, innocent and unaware of the terror that was sliding closer, inch by inch. When Honey returned, she froze. Just meters away, the python was there. Her heart stopped. Then, instinct. She didn't think, didn't pause. She leapt forward, barking with every ounce of strength in her small body. The snake reacted instantly, coiling around her, thick, cold, and merciless. Honey struggled, snapping her jaws, clawing, fighting to break free. But the python tightened. Each second, the pressure grew heavier, crushing the breath from her chest. Still, she didn't stop fighting. Not even when her legs weakened, not even when her vision blurred. Because behind her puppies were crying. Then, something extraordinary happened. Those 4 little puppies, tiny, trembling, and desperate, did the unthinkable. They ran. Across the open field, through the dusty road, straight towards the bakery. Their little paws hit the ground in rhythm, hearts pounding, yelps piercing the silence. Inside the bakery, Zhao was cleaning up for the evening when he heard barking. He frowned, looking out the window. 4 puppies, the same ones he'd seen sleeping behind the fence, were at his door, crying, pulling at his pants, jumping up and down. "What on earth?" he whispered. "Where's your mama?" But then he noticed. All 4 were facing the same direction, barking frantically. His chest tightened. He knew something was wrong. Without hesitation, he grabbed a stick and shouted to his workers, "Quick, come with me!" The puppies ran ahead, leading the way. Their little barks echoed in the quiet dusk. When Zhao reached the old field, his heart nearly stopped. There, in the middle of the grass, Honey was trapped in the coils of a giant python, her body limp, her eyes wide, the snake tightening with monstrous strength. Then he shouted, "Get the machetes, now!" The men sprinted back to the bakery. Within seconds, they returned, armed and terrified. They had never seen a creature so massive, so alive with raw power. But fear didn't matter. They had to save her. Zhao struck first, his blade hitting the snake's tail. The snake hissed, twisting violently. Another man swung again, hitting the middle of its body. The snake released Honey for a second, enough for her to gasp for air, then tried to strike back. But the men didn't stop. They fought with everything they had, shouting, swinging, hacking through the heavy coils. Honey's puppies barked wildly, circling the battle, their small voices echoing her mother's courage. And finally, after what felt like an eternity, Zhao landed the final blow. The python went still. The field fell silent. Only the sound of Honey's faint breathing filled the air. Zhao dropped to his knees, gently unwinding the snake's coils. "Honey," he whispered. She was barely conscious. Her ribs ached, her breathing shallow, but her eyes moved. She was alive. They carried her to the bakery, wrapping her in warm cloths. Zhao's wife brought water, whispering softly, "You're safe now. Brave girl, you're safe." All night, they stayed beside her. The puppies curled close to her belly, their tiny bodies pressed against her warmth. And Zhao, exhausted but smiling, watched them breathe together again. As dawn broke, the smell of fresh bread filled the air. Honey opened her eyes. Slowly, her tail wagged, weak but alive. Days passed. Honey regained her strength, though scars marked her body, proof of her fight. Word spread through the town. People came to see her, the stray mother who fought a python to protect her babies. They brought food, blankets, and toys for the puppies. "She's a hero," Zhao said proudly, scratching her ears. "She has more heart than most people I know." From that day on, Honey was no longer a stray. Zhao built a small wooden house behind the bakery for her and her pups. It was cozy, painted yellow, with a sign above it that read, "Honey's Home." Weeks turned into months. Her puppies grew strong and playful, chasing each other through the garden. Honey watched them proudly, her eyes full of peace. Sometimes, when the shadows of birds crossed the grass, she'd stand and stare for a moment, remembering. But then, she'd lie back down, her puppies snuggling beside her, and the world felt safe again. Her story spread across the internet. Millions watched, amazed at the courage of one stray mother. They called her the brave caramel mother. And in a way, she became more than just a dog. She became a symbol of hope, of love that never gives up, no matter how dark the fight. Because that's what Honey taught the world, that even when life squeezes the breath from you, even when you're small, broken, and alone, love can make you stronger than fear. She was a stray, but she found more than a home. She found a family and a world that finally saw the light inside her golden fur. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe for more animal rescue stories that remind us of the beauty of compassion. Every view, every comment helps us share hope with the world. Thank you for watching. And remember, heroes come in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes they walk on 4 paws.